Welcome back, everyone, to PIM Partners in Marriage Podcast, Part 4. I'm John Godbolt.
And I'm Bertel Godbolt.
I'm still married to her, too. It's been over 52 years, and it's been great. I think I'll keep her for another 50 years, and then we'll see what happens after that. Anyway, in the studio with us today, we're still with us Norma Bryant and Kathy Matthews, both apostles and pastors, great people. We've enjoyed the first 3 parts having you all on board with us, and now we're still talking about getting some gain from your pain. And this part is, Malika made it short. I don't know what his title is, but I'm talking about how to take your situation, how you grew from your situation. How about that? How you grew from your situation. And that's going to bring us to not only what you've seen, how you become better out of it, but also have you become a better counselor? Have your children become more acute to what you've learned from your experiences as well? So are you a helicopter or mother hen, or have you have you learned to say, okay, I'm just an umbrella to cover you, but I won't keep you in a jar? Okay, what has happened with you over these years?
Oh, I would say from our relationship, I have a healthy relationship with my son.
Okay, good.
It's one where we're like friends. However, I do speak to him sometime as a mom.
Okay.
But at the same time, I usually don't. I mean, I'm not one to say, "Well, I told you so," and I'm not one to tell him you need to do this, you need to do that, whatever. We have a conversation about it. Have you thought of? I've learned how to do that.
Okay.
I would also say for me, something that I would say that is something I never thought would have happened, coming out of a divorce, was God afforded the opportunity for me to travel to Barbados to conduct a revival.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And I just thought it was like, I know God did that because, it was just in conversation. This person said, would you like to travel with me to Barbados to run a revival? And I thought, well, why not? Then I thought, no, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then, my peers and family and everybody encouraged me to go. And it was really exciting that one day I was leaving the grocery store and I was on my way to get in my car. And this lady walked up to me and started giving a word of knowledge to me about a trip that I was going to take and how God was going to use it to bring healing. And I have to say that while I was in Barbados, that's when God really revealed the condition of my heart as it related to the divorce, that it was not healthy. But doing that revival, God did bring a lot of healing for me emotionally and in my heart. I saw how, to describe it the way I saw it, was like my heart was so wounded. It was almost like there were pus pockets in it.
Wow.
But God showed me that He would heal it, and He did heal my heart. And I'm so grateful just sitting here talking about this, how that I don't feel that pain associated with that divorce. Praise God.
Beautiful. And it's obvious to us that when we hear you preach or in your presence and we are sharing with each other, we can see that's a healed woman over there.
Praise God.
Okay. And Kathy, as well with you, we love you and appreciate where you're carrying yourself through these situations. What positive outcomes have you gained from, I hate to say the divorce, but the pain of that whole situation?
Number one, I think it has taught me that love begins within yourself first, rather than always extending yourself out and looking for it in return. Happiness comes from within. And so that was one thing that I set out to do, since that situation didn't make me happy. I felt like I had to learn how to make myself happy.
Good.
And become complete within myself. As far as my children was concerned, and the oldest one, when he was married, he often came for advice or insight about this, that, or the other. And even when he ended up in divorce, but he still came, trying to find his way through it. But I felt like that in raising them, because there was no father in their life or in the picture. that I felt that there was only so far that I could carry them because they were men. And I felt like that at some point there just got to be some learning that you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
And so I was there. I didn't want to nurture them, but I didn't want to spoil them or make them mama's boys, I guess you could say. But I wanted them to experience life for themselves. And inwardly, even he went into the military, carrying him to the recruiter to be able to send him off. Inwardly, I'm bleeding, I'm crying because that's not what I want him to do, or the route that I wanted him to take. But this is what he felt like he wanted to do and needed to do. So I was just there supporting him, even though I got over it. And I think it was great for him to do that because he became very independent, learned how to support and take care of himself. And that was the main thing. And he's very gifted in so many areas, and he has so many interests. But I just give him that space to spread his own wings as far as that from a mother perspective and no father there. So I think that that built him up really good.
Wow. Let me hit you over something. You got something on your mind?
I was just going to say to the two of them that I admired your stance both of your stances, and I did not become bitter. Because if you had become bitter, mm-hmm. it would not have done the same. It would not have been as effective even as a leader, as mm-hmm. a pastor. Mm-hmm. Because whatever you feel on the inside, it's going to come out to others. Mm-hmm. But both of you have superseded what people think mm-hmm. about divorcees. And one thing I noticed that sometimes women who are pastors, and if they've been through a divorce, they kind of sometimes mannish, and they just men kind of act like little puppies or something under them. But you all don't give off that aura mm-hmm. at all. So you have that if a man comes along, you can tell right away. Okay. Is he right? Do I see any of the same characteristics that I saw, in the first one? Right. And now I believe that if the right man came along, you would definitely be ready, and that you would be certainly an asset to whomever it is that the Lord sends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really believe that.
I received it.
Okay. Well, we can't end the show yet. That was great. We got a couple more minutes. And because I wanted to ask you, the red flags, and one of the things that I've always talked about, and I've got some tips here about when you're walking through a situation, be patient, even as you're talking with this person. What would you say are red flags when a person needs to be aware of as a counselor, or as a person who is counseling a young girl or young guy who says, I met somebody, I think I want to marry them. What do you think? What would be some red flags in your mind as you go back and say, okay, now we only got about a minute, so drop this thing on me right quick. Drop it on us right quick. What you got, what do you tell them to be aware of?
The temperament is one thing that women get deceived by is when they play with the jealousy or don't want them to get involved with anyone else, and that was one of the things that I missed.
Yeah. Not
that I was gullible for that, but I just missed the importance of that, because that was one of my deciding factors to go forward with the marriage, because other guys started coming into the church, and he just kind of kept pressuring because others was coming into the church and thinking I'm going to start talking to one of them.
Okay.
But you should look more into that. I do want to say also in just the counseling factor, I try very hard to not, because there's a certain such thing as transference in counseling.
Okay.
And I try not to be so overly involved. Or when I was barbering, I would tell people as they want to know my story, not to get caught up in my story, because now you want to become my hero.
Right.
And then, you may have some other things that'll come at me and damage me even more.
Gotcha.
So I try to work hard towards not putting myself in a position or putting the couple that I'm talking to or counseling in a position that I'm going to transfer my feelings or my attitude, or even let them transfer their feelings or attitude on me.
Okay.
So it's kind of touch and go when it comes down to counseling.
Gotcha. The last word, Norma, it's on you.
I would say respect.
Okay.
That it's important that that individual respect you as a person, and they're not intimidated by who you are and your accomplishments, what you have, your position in life, and that kind of thing. Someone who really respects that, honors that, and they're secure in who they are themselves.
It's good. Well, that sounds like another show. Our time is long gone. I can't make Malik make it keep going. It's over. Thank you all so much for your time, for coming all the way from Sanford here to be with us as we record this. And Kathy, I hope y'all have a great lunch together, dinner, whatever it is. We appreciate both of you so much, and all the work that's been done. Hey guys, remember, marriage is not a destination. It is a journey of love.